I've just been having like one of those kind of weeks where it's like endless hunger.
Hello and welcome to Yoda Soda Creations, the podcast. To group of friends who are about business talking about TV alterations. And welcome, my friends, to VJ Day of My Little Pony Friendship is Magic.
It's here. It's upon us. We've been avoided.
You caught me mid rice cake. I'll comment in a moment.
It's sad to say, but it is here. Don't know what to tell you guys. Just kind of been, it's been.
There have been tears, on and off, for the past 2 days since I watched the documentary, and it really just kind of hit that this is it.
This is all you're getting.
I'm pretty much the comic. It's safe to say I've pretty much become the comic book collective one facing this kind of stuff, facing it head on, without an emotional breakdown.
I mean, for the up until the documentary, I was fine. And the staff gets emotional about it, and it just kind of,
And speaking of documentaries, I won a bid for the Extremely Unexpected.
But yeah, it's like with My Little Pony over and Gravity Falls, and they were basically at the end of the current kind of generation of animation.
Yeah, it's pretty sad, actually. Yeah, at least all the stuff that we were following.
Let's face it, the 2010s were amazing for animation.
They really were.
You get your My Little Pony, your Adventure Time, your Gravity Falls, your Steven Universe, your
Gumball.
Sure, why not?
Gumball was good. Gumball was really good, actually.
Keep in mind, I pretty much tapped out of not Toonami, Cartoon Network, and just TV mainly in general around like the end of Toonami, and even back then, I wasn't really watching that often.
Whew. Yeah, I just don't really know what to say.
In fact, I was basically like full on into the whole anime thing until this one time at an anime convention. I went to an unscheduled panel about this My Little Pony show, which I had heard a bit about. Like,
yeah, right.
well, I watched the series opener, okay, and been watching since.
Hooked, yeah. Hook, line, and sinker.
Yep. 8 years.
Yeah, I don't know what to tell you guys today. I gotta draw something. I think I'm just gonna do a pencil drawing. It's because, to be honest, yeah, I'm pretty depressed. Sucks. Sorry to be so down on you guys. It's just a show. Just keep telling myself that.
Did you get my
It's a
suggestion?
show.
Didn't you get my suggestion?
I think I'll just do Twilight. We'll do official. To remember. It all started with her. It ended with her.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Well, I guess since we're intertwining with since we're intertwining the actual episode with the stories, I was neck deep into another fandom, and I heard some people I knew from that fandom were getting into it. I think it was around when season 2 was getting started that I checked out a few episodes, and it's been quite the ride ever since. Granted, I was mostly into the fan fiction part of it as opposed to other avenues, but those started to grow on me over time.
I guess I'll tell mine. I started pretty late. I forgot. I think I was season 3 or 5 or so when I joined. It was mainly my sister who had seen the show, and I saw it on my Netflix. She had been watching it. I was like, yeah, if she watched it, maybe I'll watch it. I'll check her out. Maybe it's pretty good. And basically binged all of the seasons in like 2 weeks. And I didn't really tell anyone for a long time because it was like, I just don't feel like it. And just kind of slowly didn't care anymore, and just slowly I told more people and stuff like that. So, yeah. It's been, every episode that came on for a while, everyone they added it for a while. Like once I caught, especially I think I was in middle school when I started watching them, and it was really nice to have something just forward to coming home every night for. And when I had caught up fully, I just couldn't wait for the next ones, and it was really nice to wait for one every week. And every hiatus kind of sucked because you're like, dang, I just want another episode. So, yeah.
Yeah, the Doctor Who fans definitely know how that feels right now. Like, oh hey, another episode of no new episodes. Like, after another year of no episodes, it's like, hey.
Didn't there a new season that started or something?
There was a season, but apparently there's going to be another year of no season.
Oh my gosh.
And I still haven't heard word of your trying to claim the special.
Oh right, I forgot about that.
I've been trying to remind you, but things.
It's been kind of a hectic couple months. But yeah, it's like actually a couple days ago I thought of like another potential like episode discussion thing we could do in the future. Not like it could be like a discussion like besides whatever episode of whatever show we happen to be talking about. Basically, pick a pony and talk about the character and how they began and how they grew throughout the series.
Pony highlights?
Yeah.
Yeah, we could do that off and on, I think. Yeah.
Like, give us something else to talk about after we actually finish talking about an episode, and instead of just like dead air.
Yeah.
Most
I don't know.
mostly dead air. They're mostly dead air. Whenever we game, there's always something in comment. There's always some comments regarding the game. There's always some comment within the game, and sometimes I still remember you two raving about Star Wars.
Yeah. We could. Maybe we could.
And of course, going back to the other seasons, making our top and bottom lists, and like the different music of the seasons, putting together a list of favorites for that, culminating like of the entire series list of favorites. Just different ideas to think about.
Yeah. Totally. I think. Yeah, those all would work. Yeah. Sorry for being down again. It's just, yeah, it's hard to.
Well, when you part of something for so long and it's just over, it just. Yeah.
It's yeah. It's. It's kind of. It's just yeah. It's very interesting. I don't know how to feel about it. Part of me is like, okay, it's over. Maybe find something else.
This episode of Yoda Soda Creations podcast brought to you by depression.
Depression, pure and its finest form.
Thankfully, I don't.
Hold on a second.
We have a lizard on the loose, people. By the way.
One of us is going to be the only off event. Going to be the only off eventually. Two of us have furries on the mind.
Not like the dressing up type.
Mammals.
Good news! They found the lizard.
And there was much rejoicing.
It was behind the TV.
And there was much rejoicing.
Yay!
I'm just hoping that this I'm just hoping this type of depression doesn't get people suicidal. That would be really sucky.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
I'm sure it won't get that bad.
I really hope it doesn't.
Then again, it's our current universe, 2019.
We do live in a very strange timeline.
We're in like worst timeline.
It's definitely interesting.
So
It's just interesting. Yeah, I don't know how to feel. What do you guys think of the? Initial thoughts? I don't see how they could have done it any better. To be honest,
it was really good.
very good.
It punches me in the heart. But like in a good way.
I think in a way it really hurts, especially more because there isn't the mystery anymore of where it's going to go.
Yeah, besides the comics. But again, it's not the same.
Well, we know long term where they'll be. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of surreal. Well, I knew it was going to come to this one day.
Yeah, and to be fair, better to go out on a high note than become The Simpsons.
The
Yep.
Simpsons gone? I don't even know.
No, they're still going.
Yeah. It's kind of a weird thing.
Fox will not let it die.
Pony's kind of weird because it is a really long running series, right? So
Just barely longer than the original Sailor Moon anime.
it's
By about 2 episodes.
basically and that's pretty big because that means a lot of people have had a lot of time to grow with these characters.
Yeah.
So these characters have been around for 9 years of some people's lives. It's been around for like 4, I guess, in mine. Or
8 for
probably
me.
five in mine. About 8 for you too, isn't it, Alex?
Yeah.
In a way, it's kind of also seeing all the ponies, seeing all your characters older and stuff is, I don't know. And it shows that they do get older.
Yeah. But I suppose we should start talking about the episode.
So we don't want to be here till 1 a.m.
Yeah, that's fair. And we have like an hour of episode to get through. They were actually surprisingly light on the commercials for the airing, actually.
It's like they knew this was gonna get. It's like they knew that people were intent on people are intent to stay and see what's gonna happen next.
Yeah, it's like no commercial after the opening. Basically, only one commercial for part one, one for part two. Well, okay, the commercial between parts 1 and part 2. The one for part 2. The one between part 2 and part 3. And actually, a few for part 3. I think they shoved most of the commercials during part 3. The commercial breaks did seem a little bit longer. Just slightly. They also didn't. They also didn't have extra openings and intros either, so that gave them a little bit more time.
Like I said, they knew how to. They knew how to air it.
Yeah. So Unicorn Baker is heading off to Canterlot. When who should appear, but totally not Chrysalis. Yep, she's in her disguise again, and gives whispers of the Earth colonies hoarding the food, telling the other races they could, if they want food, they can get it themselves, and the unicorns need to stick together. Yep, they're planting the seeds of dissent among the races.
Dissension. Deceit.
I believe that's the right wording there.
Pretty much, yeah.
The third and last time that will have to be seen.
Which they made note of this being a potential and back during Frenemies, not Frenemies. Was it?
I was talking about the skies.
Summer Sunset back. That's what it was. But yeah, it's like Chris is slowly working on her plan. So she gets back to the Swamp Pot of Doom. So yeah, she's been doing that. But with the Earth ponies and the unicorns, Cozy Glow has been messing with the. Sorry, it's been a long day. I had to get up early this morning and I had to go to work. Cozy Glow's been messing with the Pegasi, and T-Rex been researching the book, and he's finally cracked the code. He knows how to use the bell. And with it, they can take all the power in the bell for themselves. So he asks them for their hooves, so he can show the magic. Duh. I mean, he could take it for himself, but you know, I mean, if that's what they really want.
Gonna come bite you in the flanks later.
But they power up the bell, a swirl of energy forms, and blasts them with and surrounds them with ancient magic. And in the shadow, you see the forms changing. T-Rex is all buff now again. Chris has a fancy new crown. And can anyone say Alicorn Cozy Glow?
You can.
Yeah. So Grogar's back. He finally found an artifact that will help with their plans. No, it's like, what did he say? Hold on, checking the episode again. Oh yeah, like, but they have to work together. Chris is like, oh, we're already on that, and spew some goo onto Grogar's hooves, trapping him in place. And yeah, T-Rex busts through. Cozy Glow is there, and they reveal the bell. And he's like, "What? You had it? Why didn't you tell me? We're villains, duh." And they proceed to drain Grogar's magic. And as the camera pulls away, the shadow of Grogar shifts to reveal it was Discord all along. What a twist!
In retrospect, the revival of a Generation 1 character seems utterly pointless.
But
I kind of liked it.
Don't forget they did bring T-Rex back in season 4, so they did have, they have done something like that before.
To be honest, I don't mind it because we haven't grown to fear Grogar that much. And
that was a bit of a clue about something being off, that Grogar really didn't get that much focus.
Yeah.
He was always off doing his own thing.
I said A. I didn't necessarily mean all the Generation 1 revivals were utterly pointless.
No, I'm saying that bringing back Groga wouldn't be out of left field for them.
Fair enough.
And hey, it fooled the fans. It's like, ooh, hey, they brought back another Gen 1 villain. Cool.
I can almost imagine the disappointment on their faces.
Yeah, I remember my reaction. It's like, wait, what? What? I honestly did not see that coming.
Good twist. And it threw me off into like, is he not?
But we'll get into his getting to the why in a little bit. So back with Cantula, they're getting ready for Twilight's coronation. She is finally ready to ascend to the throne of Equestria. And like Spike's there as well, and what was the title? Hold on. Spike gets the title of Royal Advisor. Sorry, it took me a while to skip to the right point in the episode. The video player can be a bit finicky at times. Like, oh, at this point, no, that's not right. That point, no. Video players, am I right?
We all got to deal with him.
Yeah, Royal Advisor, because Spike has always been by her side to, help with stuff.
And things.
Things and stuff, yeah. That's what Spike's good with. So, Fluttershy and Rarity are buzzed through Counterlad, apparently searching for some stuff for Pinky. I think it was berries of some sort for something Pinky's making. But, yeah, the place is deserted. Like, what they have is what they got, but they have some taters for sale. Yeah, that's not what they're looking for. So they run into what? Slow down. They run into Twilight, and they're actually just finishing up their shopping trip. They just have one more stop left, and that's to get some thread for one of Twilight's dresses. Twilight's like, but is that thing before or after the royal marshmallow eating contest? Rarity's like, wait, that's a thing? What? You need to tell me this! Ah! And Twilight's like, lol, JK.
Get pranked, bro.
Are we sure she's not Chrysalis?
Actually, the joke I was saying is that the Trollesia is rubbing off on this one.
Yeah.
And the whole Celestia thing is not a lie.
Funny.
As Spike was once the new Rainbow Dash, Twilight is now the new Celestia. So that, yeah, they get to the fabric store and the door's not opening. She thought it was open. But someone comes to the door. It's like, what do you want? Thread? Put the bets at the door. Use the thread. Go away. Me.
Me.
More or less. Yeah, Rapidash shows up, clearing the skies, but apparently the Pegasi are kind of not really into it. Yeah, everyone seems a bit off. but it's fine. Like so they walk along a bit, and yeah, apparently the guards have been acting weird, acting weird towards Applejack, just not helping with anything, constantly giving her looks and calling her Earth's pony. It's like, oh, I know a few guards that are getting demoted.
Yeah.
And then there's Pinkie Pie, who comes in a flood of cupcakes. Yeah, apparently the bakers are on edge, and the unicorn baker was throwing stuff at Mrs. Cake, and she tried to get in between, but got caught in the tasty, tasty crossfire.
That's our Pinky.
Yeah, clearly something's up. Enter Discord, who had to go all the way from the swamp back to Canterlot on foot. And he is a mess.
Can't say he's not dedicated.
Yeah. Yeah, like he has a slight apology to make. He's like, yeah, the whole somber thing, that was kind of him, and also, other villains that kind of take issue with, Twilight's whole thing, and yeah, whoops.
Of course, he's a reality bender.
Not anymore. Too soon.
As you can imagine,
Temporary.
Celestia and Luna are pissed.
You what?
Like, I don't think I've ever heard that tone of voice from them, at least from Celestia before. It's like, whoa.
Pretty much a lot of the walls are starting to... Pretty much a lot of inner walls are starting to crumble down at this point.
Yeah.
Like, I'm only going to be a ruler for a bit longer so I can...
But Discord totally had a good reason for this.
Totally.
He wanted to bring the villains together so they attack on her coronation day, and then she'd defeat them all, and she'd feel really, really confident, and like she could handle anything. But all this is making Twilight feel is that all the stuff she has accomplished before has been a lie. It's all been set up.
This was an interesting aspect, actually. Quite interesting. I was like, yeah, it's actually pretty cool. I like how they still got something new in. This is actually kind of new. You know what I mean? We've had Twilight, I Can't Do This before. But I like the whole what if this was not me? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's interesting. That is interesting because we've had her win so many times that it doesn't make sense for her to pick that much anymore. But
if someone is like pulling the strings behind it the entire time, then was it really her that really accomplished all this stuff?
Yeah. Was it me? Because that's not. Did I do it? It's like was it all fake? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
A very interesting and new take on it. I like that.
But yeah, everyone else is really not happy with Discord. Also, the bad news is they took all of his chaos magic and it's in Grogar's bell now. The good news is, what was it like? They actually have the magic from Grogar's bell and are on their way here. It's the good news, because anything is better than Discord not having his chaos magic. So yeah, Twilight has Spike send a letter to Star Swirl to guard the borders of Equestria, to Cadence to chill over there as the last line of defense. Also to be a cameo.
I'm still kind of baffled what to call a cameo, because for a long time I've always assumed that's just a small appearance. But now it seems that a lot of times it's because. But now it seems that they seem to keep it. But then I keep hearing that it's always. But then I keep hearing that it's a speak. But then I keep hearing small speaking roles.
Oh yeah, I forget. They do speak later on, or she speaks later on at least.
Yeah, Shining doesn't speak, does he? Or does he?
Poor Mr. Francis.
Again, it's been a long day. It's like so back with the Legion of Doom. But yeah, the small related tangent. Yeah, I remember back when my theory was that the three of them would actually end up having to work together to stop whatever or Grogar ended up planning, as there would be like too much. Like, I was right that they did end up fighting Grogar, so I was partially correct.
Loosely speaking. I'll give you that.
Too easy.
But yeah, so the villains, they're trying to figure out what to do with Discord's magic. Chrysalis is like, ooh, think of all we could do with that power. T-Rex like, dude, it's chaos magic. No one could reasonably handle that except Discord. Cozy Glow's like, hey, if we need a guinea pig, I'm game. And they're like, sure, whatever.
Bigman's gonna bite you in the flanks later.
Yeah, so Lord of Chaos Cozy Glow. With giant, it's like she's giant and huge bat wings and huge curly hair. And she's like, ha, now I'm more powerful than all of you. Ha ha ha. And she fires a beam, which showers them with rubber chickens. She tries again. Pineapples that try to eat things, and then try chewing on Cozy Glow, who's like, take it back, oh god, oh god, oh god, oh. Yeah, the whole chaos thing, not gonna work out. Of course, now that the chaos magic's in there, they can't drain anything else from it. Because chaos magic. Like, I'm sure that won't backfire.
Can I come bite them in the flanks later?
So back at the castle, everyone's together. The Man Six is together. The princesses are there. Even some of the guards are there. It's like, this is the final battle of Equestria. It looks dark, but together, friendship's this and all that stuff. The typical let's work together and stuff speech.
Communism. Oh, wait. You tried that.
Motivation.
Enter Cozy Glow. It is like, oh, you're doing one of your speeches again. Pff, yawn. And then immediately proceeds to blast Twilight in the face.
That was pretty forward.
Sucker shot.
She plays dirty.
So, back with the pillars, they're guarding the border, and thump, thump, thump. Hey, what's that off in the distance? Oh, hey, look, it's T-Rex. And they try their best, but they get T-Wrecked. Oh!
Kick him.
Them prayers.
Kick him, Malik.
Our prayers to Odin have been useless.
Though, interesting thing to note is that when Rokov gets drained, he changes form. He shrinks, and yeah, that was interesting.
So has he never grown up, technically?
Yeah.
Also, he broke his shovel. No, shovel, no!
The prayers to Odin have been useless.
Buried along with Phyllis.
Phyllis! No!
But yeah, they all get drained, and so, Christmas is gonna be going after Starlight. So she basically has all the students evacuate into the underground chamber, guided by Trixie.
Nice
And
touch.
they have a nice little hug before Starlight goes off, because Christmas is calling for her. And Chris is like, just the head mirror I've been looking for. And she's like, you should have made an appointment.
Oh.
So she jumps towards Chrysalis and teleports them away to a place where it's very snowy. To somewhere where she can't hurt any other ponies. Except, Starlight.
Just looking
Wait.
back, it's nuts how much Starlight jumped in character.
Yeah. No, wait, question. I just had a thought.
Yeah.
Question. Can Chrysalis teleport?
I don't know if it's implied or not. I don't think she can.
Because if so, Starlight could have left her there!
She does, doesn't she?
No! She proceeds to fight Starlight! Starlight proceeds to fight Chrysalis.
Yeah. Maybe not.
Cozy Glow had a line of unicorns not exactly thinking things through all the way. She may have a point.
Then again, stress is then again, stress can do a lot of things to you.
Though it's also a grudge rematch. Starlight versus Chrysalis, round 2.
Round 2.
Fight.
Fight.
But yeah, they fight for a while with Starlight constantly teleporting around, and Chris is like, you'll pay for this. And she's like, put it on my tab. And teleport for Earth behind, blasting the cliffside, basically avalanching Chrysalis with snow. And Starlight starts to walk away. Boom! Didn't walk fast enough. And she gets captured. So, back at Canterlot, the guards are trying their hand. They're trying their hand against Cozy Glow, who proceeds to open a portal into the moat, and they're all gone now.
She Doctor Strange them.
Yep.
I don't feel like fighting you. Teleport.
Up.
Showing how teleportation.
Royal Guard used for the Rip Royal Guard used for the Season 8 episode 26 to Season 8 episode 26.
Or maybe. Sorry, I was going to make some. It would be Anyways,
Because that's like the one time the Royal Guards are actually useful.
yeah, they haven't fought much. I think is that the only time they fought?
Attempts were made.
Yeah. They even have little stars for it, too.
Oh,
Just edit the image of them charging and just on the stars, just like there was an attempt, or an attempt was made.
An attempt was made. Do I still have that picture?
Old memes. But yeah, Cozy then decides to try blasting the princesses, but Twilight brings up a shield. Now it's Luna and Celestia's turn. They charge up, they combine their beams, and hey, look, a bell. Yep, they got drained. You guys tried.
Yeah, and apparently it doesn't have the side effects of the last time this kind of stuff happened.
Yeah. To be fair, they can't really have known that Cozy Glow had the bell on her, so... I mean, they'd be in the same situation if they were fighting T-Rex, so... Yeah. But yeah, like, 2 out of 3 magic drainers. So yeah, Celestia and Luna are down, and Twilight's like, no! No! And then Cozy Glow makes her comment about unicorns not exactly using their brains. And I was like, we'll see about that. And then the rest of the main 6 attack. Pinkie Pie with her party cannon. Fluttershy...
It's a bazooka!
Party bazooka, sorry. Fluttershy with the geese. Untitled Goose Game. Honk honk. I expect to see more images of that. That's, Rainbow Dash just keeps dashing by, and Spike's constantly flaming her, and did Rarity do anything?
She does later.
But yeah, they seem to capture Cozy Glow, but there's a rumbling. And Cozy Glow realizes what's going on, so she flies up. And in through the window come Chrysalis and T-Rex, who just completely trash the place and blow them away. Along with Discord, who is hiding behind the throne. But yeah, it's like, they're all like, it's like, you've lost. It's like, so it's like, no, we may fall, but Equestria stands together in friendship. And they're like, ha, we've been messing with them, they're all fighting each other, lol. And the main 6 is like, ah, crap. So they grab Twilight, they're about to blast her, and then they get hit by a rock. Thrown by Rarity.
Ow!
Yes, even though she's a lady, she does know how to fight. Yeah, I'm getting flashbacks. I'm getting flashbacks to early seasons with that bit. But yeah, then they try to blast them again, and Twilight brings up a huge slab of rock to block the beam, but she's struggling to hold the rock. Everyone else goes to hold it and tells her to go out to find something to help with this. she doesn't want to leave them, but it's the only way. And with tears in her eyes, she teleports away. As the rest get consumed by the beam. Roll credits. My Little Pony.
Normally.
Normally, except this was a primetime showing. We didn't have ending credits in between the parts.
Men. You get the whole show right away.
So yeah, everyone's been captured.
Sad times.
Yeah. Yeah, you know the whole thing about using the remains of the chrysalises thrown to block magic. Yeah, they're kind of making use of that now. But now the bell has alicorn magic, except they can't use it because Discord.
Still,
I
Bickering still gonna bite you in the flank later.
I like that touch. It's a lot of magic. A lot of magic in almost every form of media is kind of non-rule following. You know what I mean? You know, it's kind of nonsensical sometimes. This makes sense and it's understandable. You know what I mean? It's like it just takes magic. You know what I mean? It's just a conduit. It just takes. So like they can't really separate the bad from the good. So it's good. That makes sense, right?
Yeah.
It's like, well,
it's
we
pretty,
have
it's pretty
it,
much,
but it's
yeah, it's pretty much you either get it all or you don't get none.
yeah, and it's something you can follow. You know, it makes sense.
Yeah,
It's okay.
It's consistent.
Yeah,
But yeah, the villains are kind of arguing about the bell because like, but Cozy wants more power now. But T-Rex like, dude, we've been over this.
Where?
Chaos magic, you can't control it. Only Discord can.
Where have I heard that before? Oh wait. 9-year-old.
And in fact, back when Discord ran off at the beginning of part 1, Cozy goes like, shouldn't we follow him? It's like, nah, it's fine. Chris is like, don't bother, he's powerless now. And now it's like, T-Rex like, we should go after Twilight. She's dangerous. Chris is like, you're just afraid. Me. Like,
Gonna come bite you in the flanks later.
you know, if they didn't have Chrysalis there, they may have actually stood a chance because Cozy Glow and T-Rex are actually the more reasonable ones.
they were actually both of them. They're like, what about Discord? What about Twilight?
It's like, maybe we shouldn't be leaving loose ends, like these loose ends about. Let's not give our enemies a chance.
It's less fun that way.
But yeah, they get into a fight over the bell, and
It does kind of make sense with Chrysalis though being that one because she's the one who really just wants to get Starlight.
yeah, she is just purely driven by revenge and wants to savor their torment. Whereas Cozy Glow is like, just end them now.
They both haven't suffered quite as much either, too. You know, whereas
Yeah.
Chrysalis has been here and there for quite a while now.
Yeah.
And she's met up with them several times, whereas Tyrek once and Cozy Glow once. So
Yeah.
less of a history. So it makes sense. In other words, continue.
So yeah, the main 6 members, Twilight or plus Spike, are trying to think, okay, we need to get to Twilight. How are we doing this? But like, there's no reasonable way out, and
9 going on 10 drop my Shell Creeper. That's what I was going for.
like Discord's like, I am really sorry. It made sense in my head, and I will make this up to you. Rainbow's like, yeah, you're gonna need to pull something big to do that.
In his defense, it did kind of work, just that I don't know how he envisioned it, to be honest.
Well, with the Sombra thing, it did kind of work. You know what I mean? And knowing him, he would have seen that. You know, they defeated Sombra, right? That was like a loose end he didn't want, right? But he used it to his advantage, and he's like, "Hey, look, it worked, right? It worked out in the end, right?"
Discord's plan was probably like, oh, he would totally be the leading man. Like the others would follow.
Yeah.
But I think it's been good for so long, and it's been a while. Like he forgot the whole villain backstabby thing.
He's been out of his game.
He forgot that T-Rex has chronic backstabbing disorder.
Does he? Wasn't there a particular line that comes up?
Oh yeah. Okay, Discord didn't actually forget, but it's like basically Discord offers like, oh, I could teach you how to use the chaos magic. You could bend reality to your will, but you have to let my friends get. Don't hurt my friends. So, but you have to ask nicely.
I think we were going for that he underestimated.
Yeah. They took the teamwork thing a bit. You know, I don't think he thought that they would actually work together.
And you know, to be honest, yeah, it would have been a safe-ish bet. You know, just
It's 70% at this point.
Yeah. So like Cozy Glow starts asking nicely, but Chris is like, "Tell me now." Derek is skeptical, or is like, he's not gonna tell us.
And
just goes like, well, not like that. I'm not like I haven't forgotten the last time you stabbed me in the back.
definitely not you. Yeah, he's like,
and starts flinging insults and T-Rex like, I could totally take you 1v1
on Rust.
oh, you freaky oversized bug. You'll want to talk considering how patient you tend to be.
Right, tell you what, you fat little.
So, Discord clarifies his insult, saying like, nah, you're just a pathetic centaur who's trying to compensate for not, what was it, basically, a T-Rex has daddy issues.
Loki, basically.
Yeah. And this pisses T-Rex off, and he sends off a blast, which hits the rock that Discord is carrying, which bounces the energy blast all over the place. Didn't hit anyone, though. Like, Cozy Glow's like, you missed. Did he, though? Yeah, it hit the magic blocking rock that was keeping Starlight in place.
Ha! You missed! It's all weird, Lassie! It's go back spin! Ah!
Seriously, Starlight is on point this episode. Like, between this and Sassmaster or Starlight earlier.
They wrote her out good.
So they try to blast her, but she's teleporting all around, and she manages to free everyone, but then she gets blasted in the back.
Which was actually kind of violent.
Yeah.
Like, we haven't had an actual violent hit in a while, and that was actually pretty serious.
Yeah. But Luna and Celestia stand to protect Starlight. They may be without the magic, but they're not totally helpless. And they tell the main six to go find Twilight. Discord's there too. Like, go on already and protect Fluttershy. Because, of course.
He's got his priorities straight.
So this Princess is and Starlight are fighting the others, and Discord is just kind of tossing rocks.
It's
He's not hiding this time, though.
So the main six get out. Remember back in
facing
Spark
ahead.
Twilight 7, the secret passageway that was blocked off? That's where they escaped from.
Facing ahead on like he used to.
What?
Discard facing ahead on like he used to.
Ah, yes.
That is a cool touch, though, the place they bricked up.
Yeah. So they run into Unicorn, and who's like, "What are you doing out here?" It's like, "I'm going." It's like, basically, all the unicorns are at the School of Magic. Like, the other races, they're on their own. So yeah, they realize that Chrysalis was telling the truth, that everyone's basically not working with each other now. But they need to get Twilight, so they head off to Ponyville, which is full of Earth ponies now. And they're all arguing and what was it? Someone needs to fix this. Like, yeah, apparently the Pegasi are blocking off Cloudsdale, and as we saw, the unicorns are kind of doing their own thing, and yeah. But yeah, Twilight's not there. And, but Spike realizes where she is. So, I guess they took the train to the Crystal Empire?
Yeah, because none of them can teleport, so...
Yeah. That must have taken a while. I mean, I guess they're lucky the trains were even running.
Maybe they stole one.
Okay, in cases like this, we'll just go by the MST3K mantra. It's just a show, we should really just relax.
It's a show. It's a show. Breathe.
But yeah, last place you would go to protect yourself? Family.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
and
So-
an empire, but...
So Twilight is there, and yeah, she is not having good time. She has been freaking out and trying to figure out some way to save them and to stop the villains, but she just cannot find anything. And it's like, she feels like it's just all been pointless. Like, nothing they've done has really amounted to anything. Sombra came back, destroyed the elements of harmony. The three villains are back stronger than ever. All the ponies are too afraid to remember what friendship is. But,
all of these nice touches. I was kind of wondering how they build momentum, or build bad thing. A problem, right? And this makes
narrative
sense.
drama.
Yeah, I don't know how. I was wondering how they're going to do that, and this is a pretty good way of doing it. It's to her, right? It makes sense. To her, it's in the moment. It's like, yeah, what have I done? You know what I mean? Again, coming back to that, where it's like, it's kind of, she's reaffirming her fears of, maybe I haven't done anything, and that's good. That's a good touch. I like that. And it's strong. It's a strong problem. It's not like, oh no, the bad guys are back. It's like, no, maybe mindful, right?
Yeah. But I mean, hey, it's not like it could get any worse. Oh, hi, Wendigos.
Oh yeah, you guys. I really thought we thought we learned a lesson with saying that.
So yeah,
A callback to last episode.
call back to last episode.
Yeah. Because he's like, you can't get any worse than this. Discorder's like, it can't get any worse than
Oh, yeah.
Please stop jinxing it.
this.
Oh, it doesn't end there. So yeah, in Canterlot, Cloudsdale, and Ponyville, all the ponies are freaking out. But we see signs that maybe some of the younger ponies have an idea.
One's from the School of Friendship.
Yes. But yeah, like Twilight's still down, but Applejack points out that they wouldn't be where they are without her. Like she's wrong, which is she hasn't really done anything. And this helps. Like as Twilight put it, sometimes it takes a reminder to like that the magic of friendship just doesn't involve giant rainbow lasers.
But it is cool.
Yeah.
I can't remember the last time I came across this kind of situation before, but I never called it until now. It's a Wonderful Life.
So back with the villains, it's like, yeah, the whole Wendigo thing, that's not good.
We can take him.
I mean, the Derek thing's like, yeah, we should do something about this. Cozy Glow's like, it's too cold to go hunting. Chris is like, I could totally take them. But after a while, like, I can hear my voice on someone's end.
I got headphones.
Okay. But yeah, Chris thinks that, ooh, maybe let the Wendigos have their fun for a while and then get rid of them. So they'll all have to thank us or thank me. Like, yeah.
It makes sense.
Derek thinks this is a stupid idea. It is a stupid idea.
Still nothing is gonna bite you in the flanks, cause I'm still bidding on it.
But yeah, Cozy Glow thinks that maybe they should take care of Twilight and her friends first. Guess they are right there. So they're confronted by the villains. Who went like, I believe you compared their entrance to something.
What?
The whole portal entrance thing.
Oh, yeah, oh! When the bad guys come, it looks like Thanos
Yeah.
coming through his portal. Like, it's actually pretty much nearly the same. They like slow walk through it, and then it closes behind them. Like, who was doing the portal too?
The bell.
The bell was doing it.
I don't know who's. I don't know. It's like team effort.
Team effort.
So yeah, they go to blast the main six, and hey, they're not there anymore. So they're hiding in the bushes. They need to get the bell away. What was it? Pinkie Pie and Rainbow Dash. They're with Twilight. Rainbow Dash is like, I could totally get the bell in 10 seconds. No, Where are the distractions? They're gonna get the bell. Like Fluttershy, Rarity, is Spike, and Applejack. So the three of them charge at the villains, and they fight. And
I don't know. I don't really know why she chose to split the team like this.
Because Twilight would be the most obvious target.
No, but I mean, like, Rainbow Dash would be the best at getting it, probably.
But she would also be good at dodging, to keep the distraction going longer.
That's true.
And Pinkie Pie is Pinkie Pie.
Pretty darn chaotic.
But they soon catch on as to what's going on. They start going after the others as well. Christmas fights off against Spike and Rarity. Cozy Glow against Fluttershy, yes.
I need to go to the bathroom, actually. I've been here so long.
Let's say we take a break after the end of part 2.
Yeah,
Sound
okay.
good?
Yeah.
And T-Rex against Applejack. But they seem to be bested, and they take Spike hostage. Chrysalis threatening to tear his wings off if they don't surrender.
That's pretty metal, too, actually.
And like, all seems lost, but if anything happens, they'll do it together. The villains charge up their beams and fire, and everything turns to white. Spike asks if he can open his eyes, and it's like, yeah, because there's a shield surrounding them, but it's not Twilight's shield. And in the distance, you see a large group. It's all the creatures of Equestria together, united. Avengers assemble.
Avengers.
The episode is the ending of the end, but this is the ending of the end game.
It is very much Endgame-esque here. Like, the similarities are too strong for it to be a coincidence.
Extra points to Flim Flam getting their senses, and of course, the movie cameos. Or, well, movie appearances.
Yes, because among the unicorns keeping up the shield is Tempest Shadow, aka
Canon Shadow.
Fizzlepop Berry Twist.
Yes, Fizzlepop Berry Twist. It's been a while.
Rolls off the tongue.
Fizzle something berry stuff.
Stuffed?
But yeah, unicorns are maintaining the shield. The Pegasus and the changelings are swarming. The yaks are stomping the ground so as to throw off their balance.
Yeah.
The Pegasus are also making it all misty down there, so it's hard to see.
Smoke screen.
So yeah, it turns out when all the panic was going on, the student 6 and other students are basically like, hey, the heartwarming thing wasn't just about songs, it's about all of us working together. We are strong together. We can get past this. We can work together.
Apes strong together. Sorry.
Yeah.
I've never actually watched that movie.
Oh yeah, see Sunburst's mom in the group shot.
Hey.
Right next to Lyra.
Hey.
What movie?
Planet of the Apes.
Oh.
I want to say I caught the end of the second one. The second original Planet of the Apes movie.
It's not the original. It was like a It was like one of the newer ones that
Yeah.
was from. Ooh.
But yeah, it's like, yeah, to how it's just that the whole friendship skill thing was worth it, spreading friendship everywhere. Like, they're all together now. Everything is good. And then Pegasus Iona changed and slam up against the shield. You guys kind of ruined the moment.
Still three against a larger populace. I don't see this working well. I don't see this working well for 3.
Neither did they.
Yeah, but yeah, it turns out the villains gain the upper hand against the others, and they start charging towards the hill. But Twilight has had enough. She blasts the ground in front of them and says, like, this is enough. You almost stirred my confidence, but we are united. The pillars were the ones who created the elements of harmony. We're the ones who embraced used them to protect Equestria. But we still have to pass them on to the next generation. And the elements weren't just some object. They're like, long story short, the magic was inside us all along.
They did it.
Reach deep inside yourself.
The real magic was the friends we made along the way. Which, to be fair, is entirely the point. And, like, the pillars rise up, glow and rise up. The main 6 glow and rise up, and the student 6 glow and rise up. And each group sends a rainbow beam into Twilight, which combine into a giant rainbow up into the sky, blasting away the Wendigos.
Nice callback. Nice.
It is
callback. It's like the same beam shape and everything as the original. So
yeah. It is at this point because you realize it's like, yeah, this is bad. And down comes the beam, reverting them back into their original forms.
It was at this point they knew.
They fucked up.
it was at this moment I knew.
But they're not. The villains aren't down for the count yet. They'll get them, and oh hey, giant cupcake.
Wow. Well, that was out of left field.
Oh, and chocolate rain.
Chocolate rain.
Yeah, Discord's like, this ain't me.
Don't look at me. That's
Turns out after the villains were blasted and they lost control of the bell, Pinkie Pie picked it up. And briefly, we have Lord of Chaos Pinkie Pie.
These writers really like the comics.
Yeah, between the Apple thing last episode and Lord of Chaos Pinkie.
We got a lot of stuff from the comics in these last couple episodes.
But Discord realizes, like, yeah, maybe I should take this magic. Yoinks the bell from Pinkie, drains the chaos magic, blasts himself with the chaos magic, and then blast the princesses back with their own magic.
Which raises a question, if I may. He can still fly.
Of course, he has wings.
And he walked all the way home.
Fair point. Although, I think I have an idea for that. He's used to telling everywhere that, well, yes, he can fly with those wings, he probably doesn't really have the stamina for long distance flight.
So
'Cause
it's
he's
only in
got-
short bursts, you're thinking?
It's like for casual use only. And let's face it, he's probably never really had to use his wings.
He's pretty much Boba Fett. It's like his jetpack. It's like he has a jetpack that is only for short distances.
Yes.
Also, if you're in the macro sub fandom, you got your wish.
So, yeah, the villains. The princesses are not pleased. Like, they're trying to think of a punishment fitting for what they've done. Discord has an idea and asks if he can help. The princesses in Discord are charge up a beam and blast the villains, and they turn to stone.
I feel really bittersweet with it. I feel really bittersweet with this because on the one hand, finally, one of them gets what they deserve. The other, there's another that's kind of expected coming. The final one, I still kind of wish there was a little bit more to her background.
I'll be bringing this particular topic up in the next part. So I'll get to it. So yeah, the day is saved. Probably should get back around to that coronation thing. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention the castle got blasted. Yeah, whoops, forgot about that.
And there wasn't any magic to fix it.
Yeah. No reset button this time.
But on the other hand, here's something I did last year that I can say. Here's something I did last year that I can say again. This time that we guarded by top. This time that we guarded by top creatures. Top creatures.
Yeah. I have to actually. I just had a thought. With all the stuff going on the past 9 seasons, the construction companies have been making bank.
Yeah, I wouldn't be complaining if I was a construction company.
But yeah, it's like as Twilight's first decree as the ruler of Equestria, hold off on the coronation until the castle is fixed. But until then, we get
a parallel of all good things.
Yes. But for now, there's somewhere else they need to be. Cut to the donut shop. Yep, post-apocalyptic donuts, as Rarity put it.
I'm getting serious post-BronyCon flashback. I got serious post-BronyCon flashbacks with that.
I was remembering Best Night Ever.
Yeah, it's best night ever for sure. That's what they're calling back to for sure.
But yeah, it's
the first big finale to the last.
Life imitates art. Life imitates art.
Which was also a 1 episode season finale, which this. No way, this is a 3-part. That's a 1-part. Next part's the 1-parter. Again, long day. I'm getting my parts in this mixed up. Point is, Twilight, it's sure nothing can go wrong now because they're all together. And that's the end of part 2. So for those who need to take a bathroom break, you may go now.
I'm free. Hang on. Let me do our eyelashes.
Meanwhile, I can munch on another rice cake.
BRB.
What works is that there's a restroom in his. What works is that there's a restroom adjacent to your drawing place at the moment.
Nope, that's broken.
Ew, Gavin?
See in a sec, hang on. I gotta go. Totally different place. You guys still alive?
Yep, I'm still alive.
That's too bad. No.
Many moons later.
I went and got water too. That's why.
That
How
explains
could
it.
you?
That explains it.
So yeah, so part 3 is the epilogue, and as was stated, it begins with many moons later. So we have grown-ups entering the throne room. Remember his kind of dream sequence with being all buff and macho back during season 1?
He's pretty close to that.
Also during season, also season 5.
Right. Slightly more slimmed down and more moderate size, not too big, you know?
And also, just like that, his voice hasn't deepened.
Yeah, this episode kind of has a little thing if old voice is in new body is feeling kind of weird.
You mean, but it's actually young voices in old bodies. It's actually the better way of putting it. If you think about it.
Because we also get full Alicorn Princess form Twilight, like Celestia-ish model.
I have reached my final form. Ha! No, okay. This is my final form.
Speaking of like, I was just reading the thing like, certain age voices inside of different age bodies is like plus the whole Dragon Ball Z thing. Did you know that apparently the voice in Japan, the voice actress of Goku is like 80 years old?
Really?
Yeah.
On a related note, Brian Drummond and James Corlett are DBZ veterans.
Yeah. Yeah, she's 81.
Oh my gosh.
No, 82.
Anyways.
Yeah. Getting away from that minor tangent. Yeah, Spike's a friendship ambassador or whatever.
The Diamond Dogs. They weren't in the end game finale, so
They haven't shown up since season 1. not counting that whole Quester Girls thing from that short or whatever.
it is kind of weird that they made a whole.
Well, we never got any other zebras either.
Yep. Anyone who is holding out for a Zebra Nation, you don't get to see it. That's it.
Yeah, apparently that was a Hasbro decision, I guess.
Really? Why not? Was there a reason, or was it?
I don't know.
Anyways.
So anyway, hey, there's someone at the door. It's Captain of the Royal Guard Gallus. So yeah, Twilight Student is here. Lester Dawn. Which kind of continues the whole naming scheme, but kind of reverses it a bit. with the time of day part being the second half rather than the first. But yeah, Lester is kind of being like, yeah, the whole school magic, school of magic things work not quite that great because they want you to make friends and
Disgusting.
what's the point really? I mean, so much work and they're just gonna go away and yeah. Also, years later, Spike still gets no respect.
Dragon oppression.
So yeah, Twilight decides to tell a little story.
Let me spin you a tale, youngster.
So yeah, the whole coronation thing. Yeah, she's moving to Canterlot. She's moving away from Ponyville. And that has her worried because she's leaving her friends behind. Then
This is also interesting because it is not one we have. It's a friendship lesson had really for obvious reasons,
yeah,
and it's a very common one. So I'm glad the last friendship lesson they chose to do is one that they haven't done before, and it's pretty relevant to a lot of people.
plus in a similar way, with the show ending, it's kind of touching on that as well.
It's also not so fans to say, we're moving on. Things move, things change. You have to change with them.
Yeah.
Ugh. That hurts.
Yeah. But Spike's sure the others feel the same way. Applejack's like, yeah, this is fine.
I'm okay with this.
Pinkie Pie's apparently going to be in charge of the gala parties from now on, but other than that, it's fine. Though she's worried about how Gummy's going to handle the fireworks for the coronation. Yeah, it'll be fine. Oh yeah, Applejack needs to help Big Mac. Is helping Big Mac with the supplies for the coronation, and they're handling the food and stuff. Well, the apple-related food anyway, and drinks. Fluttershy is getting her animals ready for the ceremony because apparently some of the animals are gonna lower the crown down upon her head, and there's gonna be butterflies and hummingbirds, doves and swans. And Fluttershy sees nothing wrong with what's going on. Rainbow Dash is busy coaching the Wonderbolts on the performance. So she's kind of busy right now. Talk later. Whatever. Reddy's big in the whole changes happens, you have to roll with it. Change is a natural thing. It's like. Also, she has these star spatters that she wants to weave into a sash because the thread glows for a while. I'm hearing my voice again.
Talk to you about this. No. Don't talk back to them.
But yeah, it's like Twilight's just feeling really down because no one seems to care.
And for once, she's kind of right. It doesn't seem like they care. Kind of like she's not really overreacting in this one. You know what I mean? She's just like, hey, and then they just kind of blow her off.
Yeah, and they're not taking the train with her because they're busy doing their own things as part of the coronation setup.
It's building up.
I mean, Brenda's going to be there because, she has that sash to work on. Yeah, she'll be there for a little bit. But she finally blows up at the end that, like, everyone's so obsessed with whatever with the coronation that they don't care that she's going to be moving away. That they don't care.
Oof.
Cut back to the future. So, Lester assumes that, oh, yeah, they didn't care. You all drifted apart. Yeah, it's like friendship, yeah. But Tyler points out that that's not quite what happened. Yeah, they are all worried about it. They wanted to focus on something else, so they
Flashback.
oh yeah, flashback again. So that they wouldn't have to think about it too much.
So
Which
Spike
is
was right.
yeah, which is kind of how I've been dealing with my feelings about this episode.
Oof.
Like, start feeling down. It's like, okay, read something completely unrelated. Just like keep my mind off of it. You know?
Totally.
So the emotions are kind of getting to me again.
No problem.
But yeah, the fact that everyone else is where it does make Twilight feel a little bit better. However, with how things are going, Twilight's gonna be late for the train. And it turns out they just missed it. But Twilight has a solution. She teleports them all onto the train.
They're like, I guess this is okay.
Train tickets? Pfft, those are for the peasants. Yeah, the problem with this is they all had their own things they were supposed to be doing, and they weren't supposed to be on the train. I mean, they could probably handle stuff themselves, but yeah. So not Applejack, Big Max delivering the supplies to the proper ponies in Canterlot. Well, at least he assumes he is. The stamps are a bit blurred, and they didn't quite go over the packing instructions, and
They're just stamps.
yeah, with slightly different variations. I think one had like a little wavy line under the apple.
They look great. That'll really help tell them apart.
So yeah, Rainbow Dash goes off to catch up with the Wonderbolts, except they waited for her, and they assumed that she was going to be waiting outside Counterlot. Whoops. And Pinkie Pie was supposed to go over the whole fireworks thing with Guy, but yeah, it's fine. I mean, what could go wrong?
Gonna be trustworthy.
And then the train gets stopped. Because of course it does.
Turn it.
And judging by the lighting, several hours later, Twilight finally arrives. Worn out, hair out of shape, like total mess. Like, hey, glad you can make it. Are you okay? Do 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 do. Oh, you should probably hurry. Like, Twilight's not ready yet. She still needs to get her dress on. And Rarity puts the dress on Twilight. She puts the sash on. Twilight has a few guests on her. Yeah, the spiders weren't quite done yet. But yeah, everyone's in the crowd outside. The yaks, the dragons, the changelings. Some autumn blazes there, along with some other Kirin. Tempest and Kappa are there.
Griffins.
So yeah, Twilight comes out the door and she trips.
Classic.
It's fine. So Twilight goes away, like everything's fine, and Luna notices the spider's like, yeah, hey, there's something, and the hummingbirds start fighting with the spiders, and Fluttershy couldn't find the proper food to feed the birds, so they're all messed up, and the Wonderbolts see Twilight's about to get to her crown, so they go to do the performance, and
They're like, all right, that's our cue.
Gummy's setting off the fireworks.
Hitting
The Wonderbolts are getting blasted by fireworks. Everything's getting blasted by fireworks.
Gummy held up his end of the bargain, all right?
And Twilight falls from the balcony.
With the crown. We'll
jumping out. She jumped after the crown, got off the balcony. She got it, though. I think it was upside down.
Yeah, it was backwards. Like, it was like upside down and backwards somehow.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, see Grandpa Gruff in the background. Huh.
You made it.
So, yeah, cut back to the future. Lester assumes, like, yeah, the coronation was a disaster, and they never really recovered, so they drifted apart, and Spike's basically like, hey, you're half right. And Lester assumes that the coronation went fine, but they just kind of drifted off anyway.
Really downer right here. Jeez, come on. Oh, God.
Yeah, not quite. Enter Pinkie Pie. Older, has confetti and candy in her mane. She was late because she was trying to find a full sitter for Little Cheese.
Little Cheese.
Cheese Pie is canon.
Canon.
Cheese Pie is party canon. And then Brady walks in with a gray streak in her mane. Apparently she came from Yakistan, like, you know.
In a fur coat.
In a fur coat. You know, expanding her shops and all that, you know. Busy work. Enter Rainbow Dash and Applejack. Complaining about they would have been there sooner if someone would let them take care of some of the chores. Apple Dash, eternal rivals or couple? You make the call.
We're not doing it.
That's almost everyone. And then a warp in reality opens up and Fluttershy steps out. And Discord hands her a little baggie.
Which could mean one of two things. They were having a tea party, or they're a cute couple or something.
Well, I mean, according to Angel, Fluttershy wanted to marry Discord.
This is true, so I'm going to go with the former.
And apparently, in the original,
or I mean the latter.
In the original draft of the script, the relationship was a bit like they were a bit more explicit with it.
They just showed her, like, What'd they do differently?
I forget exactly, but there's like a minor change. And so yeah,
I'm
flashback again.
I'm still calling that a joke.
So yeah, the coronation was a disaster, but they have a good laugh over it, and so it's still worried about moving away. Oh yeah, Starlight Glimmer's there, and uh, I know it seems like her mane's a slightly dark. The dark part of her mane is like a slightly darker shade than usual. Could be the lighting though. I'll have to compare. Anyway, so yeah, she and Spike actually had a gift for Twilight. The entire series on Blu-ray. No, actually, it's a Harry Potter style picture book. Photo book and whatnot.
That's what I thought when I saw it too. I was like, it's Harry Potter.
And Twilight decides, like, okay, once every month, we're
Moon.
getting together.
Moon.
What?
Every moon.
Okay, every moon.
How long is a moon?
Well, there was actually a Q&A with Big Jim.
Yeah.
And, well, they never really roughly worked out the time scale compared to, like, here, but, like, a moon would be about a month.
A month. All right. That still seems infrequent, but
Hey, once a month meetup,
Yeah.
yeah.
All right.
And Celestia think that's a great order. Because like
Agreed.
forming the Council of Friendship. Celestia think that's a great idea. Like, yeah, I hope you come and visit. What? Where are you going? We're retiring to Silver Shoals. Which wasn't that the retirement home back in that librarian episode?
I think it was. No, which is kind of funny.
You're now imagining Luna and Celestia playing bingo.
It's kind of weird, yeah, because like they're not old. I mean, they can't be old, right? So it's like maybe they have their own place set up.
Also, I swear I think Celestia's horn got longer.
She just used some of that. Maybe got a little bit too much of the magic back or something from Discord.
I swear it looks like it's twice the height of her head.
Really? In the picture.
Save image. Maybe it's always been that long. Like I never really paused screen long enough to really notice.
Oops. It looks a bit longer, yeah. I'll give you
Yeah,
that.
it's like the other two seem like their horns are slightly more proportionate to their actual head. You know?
Sort of, yeah. Luna's is same. About the same, yeah, from last time, I think.
I mean, Twilight's is still a little small, but so is the rest of her body. So. Plus, those two have had like 1,000 years to grow in.
And I'm still holding out that probably age works differently in this universe because freaking Scootaloo and the CMC have been young for 9 years, so that's got to be something. So like age must take
Well,
ages.
don't forget. Just because there's 9 seasons doesn't mean there's 9 years in the show.
This is true, but you'd think there'd be something because as a kid you grow faster.
Fair.
Also, Granny Smith too. I mean,
But let's say the whole show is about like say 3-4 years, right?
you think it's in that amount of time?
I think I've seen some discussion about that.
That's pretty short, almost. Because there are some.
Well, just like rough minimum, given the number of holiday episodes.
You're thinking each holiday was represented by something.
I don't know.
See, because I'm mine would be like there were some uneventful ones.
Of course, the teacher of the month thing throws things off a bit.
Oh yeah, that was nuts. Yeah.
Yeah, you get like
that,
an entire year in that.
If we go by that, they are like that school has been around for at least like 2 years or something. It was like a coating. Didn't it coat the wall or something?
Yeah.
So it was like it would have been at least 2 or 3 of the school, because and all Fluttershy, which is even, and it was the month, right? It was the month.
Yeah.
So it has to be unless months are different or something.
Yeah.
I'm nearing done with.
I'm sure at some point someone will make like a definitive timeline.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we all have like a nice group hug and. So cut back to the future. Like, wait, you always get together like this, and you moved away, but you're still friends. Like, yeah, it's something you kind of have to work towards. Also, all the main 6 aside from Twilight have like those little older age lines underneath their eyes.
Yeah, all their eyes have little things under them, which makes me sort of sad, actually. That kind of depressed me a bit.
Yeah.
As I said before we got started, Miss McCarthy, I'm afraid your tweet is now invalid.
Yeah, because again, and Rhodey's going gray.
Yeah, like.
So this has to be like, let's say 15 years later.
Yeah.
15, 20. But yeah, let's do that. It's like, oh, I mean, I'm fine with hard work. It's like I could give it a shot. It's like, and we start up the final song. As Twilight, it takes Bluster to where it all started for her, Ponyville, and we get to see the town again for the last time. We get to see the Cake Twins all grown up.
Tad bit disappointed to see Diamond hasn't taken the role of mayor of this, making the role of mayor, but whatever.
Hey, give her time. It's scrolling through the episode. So yeah, Cheese Sandwich shows up again along with Pinky on a giant gummy.
For like a split second. It was super fast.
Yeah, Gummy is huge.
Gummy must have gone through an extreme growth spurt in this. Like, probably one of the largest changes, actually.
Yep. And we get to see Rainbow Dash leading a new group of Wonderbolts. We get to see the school friendship led by Sunburst and Starlight. We get to see Counselor Trixie. The CMC are now teachers.
Unfortunately, it turns out the Scootaloo condition thing that's a lot of people seem to smize. Yep.
That's permanent.
We see Ocellus giving Smolder a cup of tea. I originally thought it was coffee, but I saw the little tea bag handle thing off the side.
I wonder if it's implying they're teachers as well.
Actually, I think I saw a silver stream in the school too. I think so. They might be.
That makes sense as well.
Yeah. Then we get to see the apple farm with Big Mac and Sugar Bell and their son and all of Winona's children. We get to see Rarity's Shut Up, which is...
Wait, Big Mac had a son?
Yeah.
Frick, I didn't even see that. Picture, please.
Hold on a second.
Please.
Save image. Also, Sugar Bell's going gray. Also, the grannies are dead.
Yo.
Because we don't see them in the future section, and Applejack and Apple Bloom are wearing the scarves that were worn by Granny Smith and Goldie Delicious, I want to say.
Also notice, I think, like, Apple Bloom, I mean, like, all of the main six are a bit taller than the other ones. Just a little bit.
Yeah. I think I see that slightly.
Like with that picture you just sent next to
yeah, I saw. And then Rarity is original Shut Up. We see it being managed by Yona and Sandbar. Are they capable? Who knows? Maybe, maybe not.
Maybe we'll get that in the comics.
Okay, let's face it. Hasbro is totally manning all battleships for this final episode.
To shoot down ships?
No, as in these are battleships. These are canon for the end of the series. You cannot sink these ships.
They're invincible. Don't talk about Bismarck or Yamato.
And then we get Fluttershy, who's still at her animal sanctuary, with animals being warped in by Discord. And we get to see all of Angel's children, who look to be about as mischievous as he was. Or he is.
So probably
But his are typically long-lived, so that could be one of Angel's children, or grandchildren, or that could just be Angel.
Angel's freaking old otherwise.
Yeah.
Cutie Mark Crusaders are not even teenagers. They like full on adults. None of them are like grandmas yet, so it's still not too far into the future. Meaning all of this happened pretty fast, probably within like 10 or so, 15 years.
Like 15, 20.
Yeah.
And as we near the end of this, we see each of the main six going across the screen, showing an image of all the ponies they've met along their journey.
Seems a certain minotaur has thrown in the towel.
Yep. I'm just watching it myself again. And interesting thing to note in Twilight's image. Sunset Shimmer is canon.
She made it. At the very last second.
And as the song ends, Lester goes to join, I can only assume to be other students, to go off on journeys of their own and learn about friendship themselves.
Find a chaos demon from another dimension and fight another Minotaur.
And as the screen pulls back, the image is shown in the final page of the book that we opened 9 seasons ago.
It.
And the book closes. And that was the finale. That damn last song.
Dang it.
But is it the
I haven't.
But is it the end? Dun 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 dun
Okay, that's enough.
Gosh, dang it.
We still have the season 10 comics, along with the normal comics, assuming that continues on.
And if they release any of the animatics or whatever of concepts.
Yeah, and we still have one last Equestria Girls special to see at the beginning of November.
But they didn't know it was ending, did they?
What was ending?
Did they know that the show was ending?
According to Big Jim, they knew back in 2017.
So they knew this was the last Equestria Girls too?
If not explicitly, they probably had a decent idea.
So maybe it will be special, but I'm guessing it will be kind of the normal fare.
And apparently, in the advertisement, they said it was the final final adventure.
Any pony, or is it just mainly hinted at, or is it mainly
human?
Mainly human.
It's a holiday special.
Okay. And this time, it's actually pretty close. It's not like 7 months off or whatever it It's like, it's Christmas in August. Like, okay.
Equestria Girls, Holiday Unwrapped. This June on Discovery Family.
this June. It's like, what? It's not you. Do they have any concept of time? I moved the eyes down, by the way, on the Twilight, and it helps a lot. So, sharper. Ugh, dang it, I even hate what I drew.
I swear, there were some other things in that sketch.
Yeah, I kind of just went clean, to be honest. It's more fitting.
But if there's another But if there's another joke I can make that's pretty relevant. So they settle down together, their troubles are behind for now. So they settle down together, their troubles behind for now. Now, who knows this? Who knows whom Discord has tied the knot with? And their friends wish them happiness as voices in their rang for the family called the Generation 4 Gang.
I quite like this song. It was a very good closer. The lyrics make a lot of sense, and they're done well, written well. Yeah, it's a nice touch. It's a good ending. The song is nice. It's clean, and it's kind of, if you listen to it, it's mixed in with a lot of themes. Different.
Especially at the very end, where you get a hint of the My Little Pony theme.
Yes.
Yeah. It is kind of mind-boggling. It's like it is 9 years. I did like how they closed it with the book at the end. That's a nice touch. And if it would have,
you knew they had to.
Well, they weren't going to. Kind of, if you
open with the book, you close with the book.
You gotta end with the book. It's Shrek. But they weren't going to originally, weren't they? Because 3 they thought was going to be the end, and they didn't have a book in that, did they? So they probably just didn't think of it. They were more rushed for time, weren't they? I think as well. They're like,
well, don't forget there was also probably a budget split because they were also doing the Equestria Girls movie.
That's true too. Dang, I don't know. It's just It was a very good. I'm not sighing over the quality of the episode. I'm just obviously sighing over everything.
Yeah, it was a good episode. It's just.
It is the episode. That's it.
Yeah.
And I think you kind of put your finger on it right at the start. You said, you've kind of been using this antidepressant or kind of just a happy thing to go to every week. And it kind of sucks that, that's kind of over for now.
Yeah. So the Treehouse of Friendship is completely pointless.
The what?
The Treehouse of Friendship.
Yeah, that made it into a couple episodes, like 2, I think 3.
But it amounted to nothing.
That we know of. Maybe it'll make it into the comics more. That the Treehouse of Friendship kind of hints at maybe they thought they could get a bit, but they kind of knew that it was the end. Maybe I don't know what they did that for. It's not like a big deal. It's kind of just a side thing, and they didn't make that huge a deal of it when it happened. So I kind of wasn't expecting much, obviously, because I don't feel like they're going to add another asset. And I think they kind of wanted to get away from it too. They kind of wanted to get away from relics and things that are where the power is coming from, and then really nail home that it is just the power of friendship or whatever. You know what I mean?
Fair, but why bother introducing the treehouse to begin with then?
There's multiple writers. I don't know.
Oh, we could do an entire episode about that dropped seemingly plot points. Like, remember the Castle of the Two Sisters? They were fixing that up.
Yeah, they kind of never went back to that. Like, that's one of the kind of drop plot lines. With a series this long, you're going to get several drop plot lines where the writers like it, the setup. They didn't feel like the setup was... They couldn't do much with it, so they just didn't use it.
It was probably Hasbro.
It was probably Hasbro. They're
like, hey, we could set up the old castle as fix it up to be like the new thing. So Hasbro's like, no, Crystal Treehouse.
Crystal Treehouse.
Or Crystal Tree Castle. Or whatever.
And
the toys, man, the toys.
for that type of artistic limitation, they did pretty darn good, I think. You know what I mean? You know, for all the backlash they got off, they did pretty good with it. And they really, the artists really went all out.
So, speaking of the castle, well, apparently, according to Big J, what's Twilight's moved out. What's it being used for now? Either a tourist attraction or student dorms.
Student dorms makes sense. But you know what makes more sense? Is Starlight's and Sunburst's house. Because Starlight was already living there, and maybe Trixie lived in.
Starlight probably still has a room there.
It's probably dorms for the teachers. I could see that. That would make sense. You know what I mean? Like the CMC probably lived there. Probably all the student 6 probably lived there. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, I don't really want to. Yeah, I don't know what else. It's a good episode. I loved it. It's the last, especially the third episode is so much information. Like that last song, especially, is just like boom, 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 boom. Like every frame is something to look at. So like, and I kind of knew that was gonna come, and jump to the front. They're like okay, let's fit everything in we can. And
it's a good episode, just kind of emotionally painful.
It's emotionally painful. I was gonna say most of the decisions I liked. I think they did well with the fans. I haven't seen any backlash from the fans recently. No one's really griping about it.
Well, except for the whole Discord thing.
Yeah. Oh well. I kind of like that twist, sort of, because it's okay. It still kind of makes sense because Discord is trying to do good, but in a really dumb and stupid way. You know what I mean? It's like, okay, yeah. I could sort of see him doing that. It's a bit of a stretch, but it's less of a stretch than Ray. But no. It's in a lot of fan fictions they write Discord kind of like this. Kind of surprised they're actually getting angry at, because it is kind of how they write him, and how fans write him.
Right.
Maybe that's why they're angry, because they feel like it's a fan who made it, but instead of, I don't know. I like it. I kind of thought he had turned to the dark side for a second there again, but he ran off, and I'm like, okay, so how are they going to explain that? And like, I thought maybe they were setting him. I thought maybe he was setting them up to take him out himself. You know what I mean? Like maybe. Right. Maybe he was getting the relic, and his plan was to just turn it on them right then and there. But apparently he had that is kind of weird to let try to have Twilight do it, but he was doing it. We've seen Discord do the test, so it is sort of in his character of testing characters, because his whole thing was testing Trixie and testing Twilight. Twilight a lot. Testing Starlight. Except that everyone hated that episode.
Yeah.
Well, actually, they didn't hate the episode. They hated Discord in that episode, more specifically. The episode itself was okay. For the shipping, it's they couldn't have. If you're a shipper, you probably couldn't have got any better. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They probably weren't going to come outright and just say, they got married. That'd just be kind of dumb, to be honest. If you think about it, it doesn't make any cinematic sense.
Lyra and Bonbon got married.
Yeah. And it was
they were explicit with that.
They were explicit with that one. And they kind of focused on that one because the big fan one.
Yeah. I actually saw.
Sorry.
I saw another idea that it would have been an interesting idea if that Discord was actually trying to redeem them himself.
He's trying.
Teach them the value of friendship.
I could see that as well. That also makes sense. He's trying to take the lessons he's learned and use them. So in a way, that's kind of sad. In a way, that shows that he failed. In his effort to try out what the main six have been doing. Maybe he was just too ambitious. You could explain because he took on 3, whereas the main 6 do them in sections. They did Starlight and they did him separately. Yeah. He was just too ambitious.
Speaking of the villains, going back to as mentioned, I was on a bench before. So the whole them being turned to stone thing, not redeeming for them. Well, I mean, Discord was also turned to stone. He got redeemed eventually. Who's to say that Twilight won't pull Celestia and have her student take care of it?
It's very possible. I can see that. Because it is implying the whole book closing and everything in that cyclical cycle. The cyclical cycle, or whatever it's called. So now.
A cyclical cycle.
Yeah.
So you mean a cycle?
A cycle. With slight variations. Instead of the main 6 being all ponies, maybe they'll all be different. Or no. I was kind of expecting Closey Glow to come around or something, or Chrysalis is kind of gone for me. She wasn't going to get a redemption. Tyrek never really showed anything either. Cozy Glow maybe, because she's just a kid, but I wonder if they could selectively unfreeze them. Like just take them one at a time or whatever.
Right.
We don't really get an update on that in the Flash 4. We can assume nothing happened in the 20 years or whatever.
Yeah.
Unless the comics change that. I could see the comics big topics like that.
I mean, they'll have to come up with the villains somehow.
Yeah. But I don't know what do you think the comic?
What?
Clone Wars edition, where it's in between the 2 episodes, or will it do afterwards?
I can see it going.
What about?
I can see it going both ways, to be honest.
Have they said it will be in between?
They haven't really said anything yet. But seeing as it's supposed to be season 10, we can assume that it, at the very least, takes place after the ending of the end. But probably before the last problem.
No, even saying that made me kind of dip. Yeah. He said the last problem, and I'm like, ooh.
I believe that was the name of the final episode. Yeah, the last problem.
In a way, if they do it, I'm expecting him to do that because that's probably what most fans will want. They want more than 6 in their current form, not in the future, because we don't have much attachment to them in the future, thematically. But doing that gives you the Clone Wars limitation of who deal, where it's like, okay, what's going to happen in the end. So yeah. A lot of stories they might touch on will already be done. It'll be kind of filling in the gaps that you'll have.
Yeah.
So you can do it. As obviously with Clone Wars, they went totally at it and they took it. It was amazing, and the whole we know what's going to happen doesn't come up terribly often. They did a very good job of that, but it is hard to thread the needle like that. You know what I mean? That is something Dave Filoni, the writer of Clone Wars, had trouble with when he was writing it. he's just like, it was a nightmare to go in between the movies and figure out what I can and can't do and who meets who in the next movie. That was a big thing as well. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like Kenobi is the only one that actually fought General Grievous prior to the third movie. So like Anakin could never have fought Grievous 1-to-1 in the entire show. And there's so many cases where he gets really close in the show, but because it's like he can't technically, because in the third movie he's like, General Grievous. He's like, I thought you were taller. And like that one line screws up everything because that means he's never seen him before.
Yeah.
It's like crap. But Obi-Wan Kenobi doesn't comment on that, so Kenobi can meet Grievous. Anyways, so that kind of limits a lot of. I think the comics might run into that a bit. In that it's like, well, you can't have any big changes, right? You know, you can't have Apple. You know, you can't have the new Apple family break up or something, or you can't. Just little things like that. And little finagling things might come up from just this one episode that you can't touch unless you want to break the continuity. But the comics, from what I've read several. I've read quite a few of the comics. I'm not up to date, I'd say, from the last 5 months, but not many have come out in that group. Maybe 10 or 15, from what I can gather. Like, but I've read like 80 of them at least, so I get the feeling of the comics. And if they continue to write in the way they are doing, I do like that the comics in most cases are much more daring with what they do, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that they do little side stories more edgy than the show can do. And there's bigger bad guys in some cases. Now that the show is over, technically, they don't have to tread on needles to write something dangerous. They can look at what they can and cannot do, and then say, "Look, we can do this big thing, and it fits in, right? We don't have to worry about preceding the show in some way because
everything going forward is now theoretically canon."
Yes, basically. Whereas in some comic editions, stuff was like retconned in the show or like taken out because it's like, oh, that didn't happen, or this character didn't do that, or this character wasn't there, but the comic came out first. So now they don't have to worry about that, and they can be more confident. The writers can be like, okay, we can do this. We're technically the head of MLP FIM now, which is sad to say again. And I think the big thing for me about the comic show, the big difference is there just is no sound.
Yeah.
And you don't get to hear their voices, and yeah, it is just different.
Yeah.
I think the main thing is we've all grown to connect with these characters, and it's really, even an epilogue episode like this just kind of almost just hurts to watch because you're like, all these characters have changed, and yeah, it all happens very fast, and you don't get to see it.
Yeah.
I think change and growth are some of my personal hardest things in my life to deal with. I think they are hard in a lot of people's lives, but for me, I think they hit emotionally quite hard. One of the movies that consistently gets me to tear up and almost cry, basically, is the opening scene from Up. That gets me almost every time. The music is so perfect. The choreograph, like how it's shot, how it's, it's just so snappy and it's so poignant. It's just, it just hurts every time. And I've seen it so many times, and every time I just tear up. It is so hard. The changing of time, and just like, it just hurts. It just really hurts.
Yeah.
And that's with characters that we have. Whereas it hurts more here because it's it's freaking 6 years or 8 years or 9 if you time of building with these characters, and this one episode shows where it went, and it's good, and I liked where it went. And then, yeah.
So, also on the Big Jim Q&A thing, Applejack parents are confirmed dead.
Yeah, I saw that. That's great. Everyone knew it, but that just hurts a little bit more. Let's just drop that on them. It's confirmed. They didn't move away or go off to do something else. Whatever last people held on to. Well, what else could have been it?
What?
What else could have happened? I don't get what else could have happened.
I don't know.
like it's pretty much it's everything but said. And that brings up the death toll, and this doesn't these couple episodes bring up the death toll in My Little Pony quite exponentially, because there've been no, like, how many confirmed deaths have there been in this show? Not many. There was that one funeral scene at some character we don't know. Now all the grannies have died, so that's 3, plus the 2 confirmed Apple parents, so that's 5. Is it up to 5?
I'd say sure.
About 5. Well, 6. Sorry, if you include that one funeral scene, which was like in a song.
I was beginning to assume Grandpa's dead too.
Huh?
Grandpa.
Grandpa's dead too. So, 7. And maybe
Sombra's basically dead.
8. Yeah, 8. And Storm King 9.
I'm sort of beginning to get the feeling that was a clone, perhaps.
Huh?
I'm starting to get the feeling that Sombra we saw back in April was a clone. Considering Siege arc.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. So you're thinking he died twice? Don't pull a Palpatine on us. I cloned myself before I died.
It's like this. The real one's off with Radiant Hope.
Ah, oh yes, in the comics.
Fair enough.
All right. That was kind of one of the bigger arcs that I liked from the comics. Sombra arc. That was pretty good. I haven't read in a while, so maybe I'll have to touch up on it and see if it was as good as I remember. It kind of sucked because it felt like a fanfic, because it kind of really goes against. That was one of the bigger arcs that really goes against the show. You know what I mean? That one really contradicts the show. A lot of them have like this scene here and this scene here that don't work, but this one was like the whole arc doesn't make much sense. It was a good arc, and it was cool to see that, but it was like the whole nagging in the back of your mind, this isn't canon. Like, it's kind of like reading the Star Wars books now. Like, I'm kind of demotivated to read some of the old novels, even though they're really good. Is now Disney says all of them are not canon. So it's basically like reading good fan fiction.
Which, hey, I've bought plenty of fan fiction.
Yeah, and that doesn't degrade fan fiction. I still read a lot, but it's just a little thing in the back of your mind. You're like, it's not official technically. It's funny how we care that much about official and not official. You know what I mean? It's like, really, it doesn't really make any difference. It's all made up. But But yeah, overall, this is a very fitting end, I think. Officially fitting end. The comics will
Official
continue to-
animated end.
Yeah. And the animation has been the driver of yeah. We'll get more of it, but it's pretty far out in the future. I can't tell how the fandom will be that far out.
Mm-hmm.
I think there'll be.
I'm pretty sure it'll work the same way the Animaniacs did.
Is there a fandom of that still?
Nostalgia Critic is proof of that.
Is he still a fandom? I think there's enough content that it will have a pretty strong fan base for a while. I think it'll be kind of like I think it'll be the Star Trek. There's a lot of content. There's a lot of very dedicated fans. I mean, I'll keep rewatching episodes every once in a while. I think there's going to be a more, to be honest, unless we're. I'll be kind of sad to watch Pony for a bit.
Yeah.
It's just, yeah. This has been a very depressing stream.
Many emotions. To be more specific.
It wasn't really sad how it went. It went out it went out on a very high note.
Yeah.
So I'm not personally I'm not ready to cry or something. I'm just kind of in a depressed mood, I feel.
Yeah.
It wasn't sad how it went. It's thanks for all the uplifting kind of over the years. It's been nice. I hope they do you proud in the future. We'll get some more content from the comics, and maybe we'll do some reviews of those when they come out. But obviously not. It's not totally the same. And it's kind of the writers and the voice actors that really had the kind of, the real spirit of the show kind of there. You know what I mean? They're the ones keeping it good, and animators, the storyboard artists, and everyone who worked on the show more intimately were the ones really putting their heart into it to make it special. It's pretty hard to see that go. I hope some of them work on the next series. It's sounding like they're not really, and it's going to be a new team.
Yeah.
So that can either that can go. I think it's really polar. It can be really good, right? It can be it can be really awesome, or it could be totally the opposite way. Or I guess it could be mid ground and just be okay. But to be honest, I hope it's one of the other two. I want it to either be really good or just, I don't know, not worth it, and just either to be overshadowed by the old so much so that everyone just remembers the old one, or that it's so good that it's next to the new one or the old one. It's going to be kind of hard to follow this up. Depending on how they do it, if it's going to be more episodic type, then it might have the same pitfalls this one had. The problems this one had were, as we talked about, dead ends. There were several dead ends. Some of the characters regress back and forth if it's an episodic one like this. And there tends to be less growth if it's a long running show like this. If they go for the Gravity Falls, and they're like, we have a goal and we have an end, then the characters usually are more compelling. But in this case, the characters I think were very compelling as well.
Yeah.
But as a case study, and usually like more story driven shows that have a beginning and an end that are set have little to no dead ends, because they don't have time for dead ends, so they cut them out, which makes all the content really good, or must be good, because that's all they get. So Gravity Falls is a great one, because there's only a couple episodes that I remember that weren't very good out of the entire show, whereas Pony's got quite a few racked up. It's it honestly has. Not everything can be perfect, and we got a few duds.
Yeah.
Some were pretty strong actually, but as fans we overlooked them. But you could make a more compelling show if it was beginning and an end, but it is more sad, I feel, obviously. And from a guilty pleasure point of view, it is not as much fun to have a beginning and an end, because you don't get to see long-term character. You get an ending of the character. You don't get as much character as you want sometimes. Them on screen. I didn't put that very well. You don't get to see your characters for a lot of time, whereas like Gravity Falls, there's 2 seasons of like 28 episodes. So if you like Dipper, that's all you get. Whatever he's on the screen. Whereas Pony's got, if you like Twilight, there's literally probably, if you like Rainbow Dash, or Applejack, there's an entire 2 seasons of episodes each for every character, right, that you like. So
Yeah.
if you liked a character in this show, you could binge watch all of the characters, and they have so much time to develop characters in long running shows like this that you get attached to a lot of them. So it's harder to see these ones go. Just because of that, the characters are so developed. Like there's like background characters that were not even intended have like long running. So when you get to that point, you've hit it well. We've really done something good. This show means a lot to a lot of people, and it's gonna hit some people harder than others. So if you're out there and it's really hitting you, just remind yourself it was a show. You can always go back and watch it over and over and over, especially in this day and age. It's free. a lot of times, or it's on Netflix. I'm sure that the whole thing will be on there soon. And
Here's hoping for an eventual Blu-ray release.
yeah, that too. It's really sharp on Netflix, though. It is very, very crisp, even the old ones.
Full series Blu-ray release.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's probably nearly Blu-ray on Netflix. I don't know what it is, what resolution it is. They don't really display it, but if you want probably the sharpest version, I'd say Netflix and online are the best right now still. They're just really, really sharp. uh, there's a lot of pony content of this generation. I guess we can't ask for any more, to be honest. We are spoiled to have gotten this much. This all sounds very highfalutin show. If if somebody else hears this, but it was a good show. It really struck home with a lot of people. Yeah. I don't think I could ask for much. The season finale was up to pretty much, I think, most people's expectations. They exceeded them in some cases. They crammed so many fan things into that last epilogue. I don't think made that any fan servicey in a good way.
Yeah.
Literally, I don't think you any other way to have more and knots tied in a non-dumb way. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like you couldn't have unless you like literally warping from place to place and how it ended. They pretty much hit everything.
Yeah, it's like it's the best we could have hoped for.
Pretty much.
Yes.
And even if you don't read comics, this is a good way of it ending.
Oh yeah, I forgot to mention I finally got my Kotobukiya Twilight figure.
Oh, you did? How is that? I am tempted by one of those because I don't.
And I've already pre-ordered Fluttershy.
Are you gonna collect them all?
Yes.
Yes.
I mean, I'm already 3 figures in.
They're
Well,
freaking.
I will be once
They're,
Fluttershy's released.
they're gorgeous from what I've seen. I'd probably have to get like Rainbow Dasher. I probably can't get the whole set, but those are like the 2 coolest looking ones, I think, from a personal level. Like Twilight's pony version is quite cool. It's just a nice pose.
Yeah.
And Rainbow Dash's human one is probably the more interesting of the human versions.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and actual physical things of Gen 4 will probably die off soon too. Like toys and figures and things. They'll probably go on for another year, I'd say, being made, and then they probably will slow down production to try to maybe give it a little break. This is all from a manufacturing idea, business idea. What you do is you give it a break so that people kind of slow down and forget about the last generation, the general population, and then you start talking about the next Gen 5 and start advertising the movie for that, and then that's my future prediction. I don't really see how else they would do it. You know what I mean? That's basically how everyone does it. So just expect to see toys for this season for this generation for a bit longer in the mainstream. You get of this and that here and there for probably forever, just because of how big an impact it had. It's like Star Wars, at this point, where you get original figures of Luke still. You know what I mean? Like, you can still go to Walmart and pick up Luke from Tatooine. Probably not to that caliber, but Hasbro's a toy company, so the perfect blend, because usually if you want to if you like a movie, the company has to go through another toy manufacturing, whereas Hasbro literally makes both. They do the show and the toys, so they like to make pony stuff because they own the rights and they don't have to do any finagling to get it, so they just do it whenever they have a blank season. So we can expect to see a bit. I'm kind of watching all these websites like Equestria Daily and stuff, and I'm thinking, what are they gonna do now?
They'll continue to feature the music, fanfics, and art of the community.
Yeah, I hope that's what they do, and I don't see why they wouldn't. And I mean, if they're still around for 3 more years, and I don't see why not. I think the fan base is pretty strong right now. It's kind of, and I read a point on there where it's like they already have settled into a more permanent fan base. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Whereas, like, the first 3 seasons, and after the third season, all of the hip watchers. You know what I mean? All the people that were just to be cool because that's what was popular at the time.
Yeah.
And season 4 came around, and that's kind of when you got like, okay, everyone here now is just people that want to see.
That's when it kind of balanced out.
Yeah, people started making their own stuff. More and more fanfics were being made. More and more art was being drawn up by actually really good artists, and animations were starting to be made. Fan animations that were actually really good, and not just memes. So yeah, I think we're going to lose some people for sure. I think everyone will slow down on it a bit, but the comics will keep it going for a bit, and we'll see if the next series goes good.
Yeah.
Kind of last point. I think realistically, it'll probably be like Korra, sort of. Have you ever watched Korra and Avatar?
No, but I've seen reviews.
I can see it kind of going that route. Where it's pretty good. Korra was pretty good by most people's standards.
Yeah.
And I watched all of it, but some of the magic wasn't there. And I don't really get huge urges to go back and watch all of Korra, but I do go back and watch Avatar from time to time. So I feel like it might be something like that, unless they just different and it just really knocks us off our socks. But that's, again, gonna be hard to do. Especially, it kind of Pony hit at a perfect time back in the day where it was kind of, the internet was still kind of growing in how it acts. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like the internet beforehand was kind of, you get really dark web users, and then when Pony came along, it was internet, phones and internet were now kind of common, so everyone could use the internet really easily, and Pony kind of spread because of that. It was something kind of weird that was actually pretty good, and most of the general population could see like, oh yeah, this is actually pretty good.
Yeah, and you could see entire episodes on YouTube.
Yeah, you could watch YouTube, and there were forums and things that were unmonitored. But nowadays, the internet has changed a bit again, where there's now kind of factions, kind of like you got the deep web people that are bigger now, and they're kind of where all the memes come from, and then they're much gruffer usually now, so a lot of this type of thing doesn't surface very often anymore. I guess you could argue Minecraft was resurgence or interest that came up again, whereas everyone's like, hey, Minecraft is still good.
Yeah.
So there is a bit of hope. I could see making wild predictions again, so in the future I can say I was if I was right, and not bring it up if I was wrong. I could see it since it's quite a ways off. Like the movie, apparently you said is a precursor to the show, right? Like it sets it up.
Supposedly.
Supposedly. So at least it's 2 years out. That's the internet works in weeks, basically. The internet's memory works, and it forgets about stuff. And 2 years is like 10 decades in the internet time now. So I could see a baby resurgence again when the next pony show comes out and everyone's like, hey, remember way back when pony was popular? And look at this show. It's coming out again and it's called the same thing. So yeah, I could see it making its turns again for like a week or two. If it's any good, then it might develop another or resurge this one. But for now, I think it will be just at a steady pace with not many new ones coming in, but not losing.
Right.
And then maybe we'll get a Star Trek E type resurgence every once in a while. It's yeah. It's kind of like Transformers, but I don't think like Pony had. You know what I mean? Kind of like Pony had a weird phenomenon
Yeah.
back in the 21 where it was really popular for, a month or two there. Whereas, like Transformers is just something that has been there for a while and most people have never gotten very invested in it. There wasn't a shock value in it, I guess. Whereas Pony was like, whoa, this is actually good.
Mm-hmm.
All right. We're rambling. It's 2 a.m. I drew you a pony, so get out of here. It's sitting there right for you. It's a sad one. Yeah. Let's just close this out before one of us cries.
Safe to say we've all had an emotional roller coaster with great way to close at least one side of the story out.
Yeah, the main one. We still got the Questia girls, but everyone knows that has half the following. But it's still canon technically still, so and I don't mind it. It's fun.
Yeah.
Rest of the month until then is going to be dedicated to some episodes to finish with the spirit of the month.
Yep.
Sounds like a plan.
And we hope to see you for not just for those, but also when Holly's Run finally gets its English release, and also when we tally up best and worst of the last year.
Not that worst should be that hard to figure out.
But best will. So
Yeah, that'll be difficult.
From all of us to all of you, until then, take care.
Later.
take care, guys.